Okay. Yes. Am I audible? It's working, right? Okay. So hello everyone. We did the analysis of JEE mains paper, the evening shift today, and we have discussed with all the faculties, and we found out that paper is easy for all the three subjects. We discussed with the student. Some are saying it's one of the easiest paper that have happened till now. Okay. So I am going to take physics here. Soon we are going to see question of chemistry, mathematics, and good thing is this paper is easy, so you can easily score some very well marks here. Students are also happy that question level, the exam level is relatively easy, and some are claiming it to be the easiest paper that has been given in this JEE main session. Okay, so not taking any further time, I will start with physics and I will be reading out the question from my phone, writing it down, and now I am starting. Okay, so first question, see, it is relatively easy. You can solve it even without lifting a pen. Okay, so question is like this. We have a string hanging like this. Okay, I will just make some thickness reduce. Okay, so a string is hanging like this from two supports. They have given us the angles here, the angles being 30 degree on both the side. So this angle is 30 degree, same goes here. So uniformly hanging string is here. They are asking to find the tension at the midpoint of the string, tension here. Okay, so we have to find tension here. Midpoint means the two halves of the string will have equal masses m by 2 and m by 2. Now I will specifically focus on the left half of the string to get the answer. Now I can say that if I draw this left half of the string separately, it will look something like this. Here tension is T that we are about to calculate. Here tension is, let's say, here the tension is, let's say, T dash. The string, it's not a string though, it's a rope, and rope has mass. We know that if something has mass, the tension varies throughout the length of it. So tension at other end is going to be a bit different. I am calling it T dash, and at what angle it is going to be? This angle is 30 degree. Here, this angle is 30 degree. It makes this angle also 30 degree. Now, as we know that it's a NLM question, so we should break or we should resolve everything into components. Here T dash is neither along x-axis nor along y-axis, so I will break it into component. T dash cos 30 degree being this component, and vertical is going to be T dash sine 30. Any force else, that is half the weight of this string. Since mass is m by 2, the weight is going to be mg by 2. Now the basics of NLM, if we apply here, since this string is in equilibrium, the upward forces will be same as the downward force, and right is going to be balanced by left. So I can say that by right and left, this T and T dash cos 30 are going to be equal. Now I know that, or we know that, the cos 30 is basically root 3 by 2, and I will call this equation number 1. In vertical direction, we can say that the T dash sine 30 is going to balance the mg by 2 component of the 4. Now sine 30 being half, I can cancel 2 here, and in that above equation I can write T dash as mg, and I will call this equation 2. Let's put T dash value in this equation number 1, and we are going to get tension as mg root 3 by 2. Okay, I don't have options with me, but I do think there is some option in the question, so you should select this option. This is being the correct one. Okay, again, relatively easy question. When you solve NLM, you definitely start with some questions like this. This is how we learn how to draw free body diagram. So I will say it's a basic, one of the most basic question from NLM. Most of you might have already solved while learning the NLM free body diagram. Okay, moving on to the next question, and here we go. It's even much easier question than this. We have two rings, okay, lying at a distance of 2r apart from each other. They are center to center distance. This ring is carrying a current I. The other ring is carrying a current 4I. Okay, we want to find the direction of magnetic field exactly at the center of the ring. that is r distance from here and r distance from here, just the direction. Okay, they are calling this center as q and this center as p. You have to just tell the direction is along which direction, like op, oq, or field is 0. Okay, now we will see, due to this ring, how the magnetic field is going to be. I think I have drawn the current in the opposite direction. So in question, the current is like this, 4I. Okay. Now due to this ring, if okay, current is like this only. Okay. So due to this ring, the current is flowing in this direction. It will make the magnetic field at B point, due to right hand thumb rule, along this direction. So I will say the magnetic field at, due to this first ring, is going to be in this direction. Let's call it BP. Due to this second ring Q, if I curl my right hand along the direction of current, the magnetic field is going to be along the opposite direction of BP. I will call it BQ. Now we know that magnetic field due to a ring depends on distance and current. Distances being equal, both are being r and r. So magnetic field is only going to depend on the current value. Which of this current is more, 4I or I? That is 4I. Since 4I is more, the magnetic field BP is going to be more than BQ, which makes the direction of magnetic field be BP minus BQ, which is, it's directed away from P to Q. So our direction will be from P to Q. And that's it. That's it. It's one of the easiest question. Even in exam, this could be solved within 10 seconds or something, right? We don't even have to think much. We don't even have to lift the pen. Directly, this question can be solved easily. Okay, moving on to the next question, and we'll see the question levels are still not that tough. The shift overall is easy only. Okay, next question goes like this. We have a velocity displacement graph. So I will draw a graph here, velocity on the y-axis and displacement on the x-axis. The graph looks something like this. We have to draw the acceleration displacement graph from the velocity displacement graph. Okay, so that's the question. Now, 4 options are given. The 4 options have 4 different graphs. We have to choose the correct one. Now, here I will solve it. How to find the acceleration from the velocity displacement graph? If you remember, acceleration is basically v dv by dx. What is acceleration from velocity equation? It's v dv by dx. If you notice in the graph, v dv by dv by dx, in this graph, the dv by dx is going to be the slope of the graph. So if we look at this vx graph, the dv by dx term is basically slope of the graph. And what is the slope of the graph? Since it is making an obtuse angle, the slope of the graph is going to be negative. Tan of obtuse angle is negative value. So slope of this graph is negative, which makes dv by dx negative. Now, what about velocity? Throughout the motion, the velocity is decreasing. Its value is falling down, right? So velocity is changing, but dv by dx is constant and it's negative. So our graph will look something like this. Velocity, it's decreasing. dv by dx is being a constant, negative value. So our graph will be, since v is decreasing linearly, acceleration will also fall linearly. Its value will decrease, and the graph is going to have a negative slope. So once I will just confirm the options in the graph. So our graph is going to be a graph having a negative slope and acceleration, a graph having a negative value of acceleration. Why? Acceleration is negative because of dv by dx, and acceleration is continuously going to decrease, which will make this graph to be correct. How come? Here acceleration is always negative. Why acceleration is negative? Because dv by dx is negative. So this term makes acceleration negative, and since v is continuously decreasing, the acceleration will initially have some value and then it keeps on decreasing till it becomes 0. So correct graph is being this graph. You have to select the option corresponding to this graph. All right. So on, so far the questions are very easy, damn easy, I will say. Not a single difficult question. All are of easy level to moderate level. Even here also, if you analyze this question, you can solve this question without even lifting your pen. It's That easy. Okay, moving on to next question. Let's solve a question based on circuits. Here they have given a diagram. A circuit which looks to be complex but is actually an easy circuit. If you remember, you might have also attempted this circuit while solving the symmetrical question. Okay, so you might have guessed it till now. How the rest of circuit is going to look like? It is basically a hexagonal symmetrical circuit. And what they are asking us to find, can you guess it? The resistance between the ends of the circuit AB, all resistance being R. Okay, so if all resistance are R, you have to find RAB. Okay, now here we go. If we look at this graph, if we look at this diagram carefully, we can say that this diagram is symmetric. It's for having vertical symmetry. It's having a mirror symmetry along the vertical axis. So I will draw a line showing the vertical symmetry here. And we know that when this symmetry exists, we can break away the junction lying on this axis. Now when you take this junction out, the circuit is going to look something like this. Okay, instead of drawing, I will just show it here to save some time. The circuit is going to look something like this. We are breaking away the symmetry. We are breaking away the symmetrical junction. This is how the circuit will look like. Now see, R and R series 2R. So I will write here these two being 2R, and due to symmetricity, these two being 2R as well. Now 2R and R are in parallel here, this R and 2R being parallel. So their parallel will be 2R into R by 2R plus R. It is going to be 2R by 3. So this whole upper thing is 2R by 3 basically. This whole lower thing will be 2R by 3 also due to symmetricity. And now this entire 2R by 3 and this R and this R are in series. So their equivalent is going to be R plus 2R by 3, which will make it 2R. If we take LCM, 6 plus 2, 8R by 3. Okay, so this is 8R by 3, this is 8R by 3, and this is R plus R, 2R. So our question has simplified finally to a very simple circuit which looks like this: 8R by 3, 2R, and another 8R by 3. Now they are all in parallel. Their equivalent is going to be how much? Now see, 8R by 3, 8R by 3, 2 equal are in parallel, their equivalent will be half. So if two equal resistances are connected in parallel, their equivalent resistance is half of it. So 8R by 3, 8R by 3 will make it 4R by 3. 4R by 3 will be in parallel with 2R, making our answer is, okay. So what I can say that we have 4R by 3 and 2R connected in parallel. So 1 by RAB, I will write it on the next slide. So 1 by RAB is going to be 1 by 2R plus 1 by 4R by 3. This will make 3 goes upward. Now it's basic LCM you have to take. That's it. 4R. Here we have to multiply by 2. There is a 3 there. So we are getting RAB as 4R by 5. And that's it. So this was the question, right? The answer being 4R by 5, right? So this is how we can check it, right? I will just give it a cross check. Like I will just make sure I have not made any calculation mistakes. So RR, 2R, 2R and 2R, we are going to get 2R by 3. 2R by 3 and 2R, we will get 6, 6 to 8, 8R by 3, 8R by 3, 4R by 3, and finally we added them. And this is going to be the answer. 2, 2 plus 3, 5. This is the correct answer. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next question. And this question, I will say, is one of the most basic question that is there. So, if you have studied the mirror symmetry, vertical symmetry, horizontal symmetry, or folding symmetry, this is the one of the most basic question that you start with. Okay. So, if you have any idea of the circuit symmetry, this kind of question you tackle a lot. You start with basically this question only. Okay, moving on to the next question. Another question based on the circuit. And here we go. The question looks like this. We have a 10 volt battery out here. I will write it. Then we have a 6 ohm resistance being here, a 4 ohm resistance being here. Okay. Here we have 8 ohm resistance and they are connected together. Nice and good. Here we have another 8 ohm. Here we have a capacitor. Okay. Here we have another 8 ohm resistance. What they are asking is essentially is find the current through ammeter. Where is the ammeter? So they have connected an ammeter here, and in steady state they are asking what is the current flowing through ammeter. Okay, so what is the current flowing through the ammeter? That's what they are asking in steady state. Okay, so find the current through the ammeter in ampere in the steady state. So that's the question. I am just giving it a cross check because I am not that good at with the diagram. I'm just making sure everything is fine. Yes, C also here. Now we know that in a steady state, the steady state mode, what is going to happen? The capacitor, once being fully charged, it will behave as an open circuit and it will not allow the current to pass through it. So in a steady state, the capacitor will behave as an open circuit and this branch is going to be removed. So our circuit, essentially this branch is no longer there and remaining parts are there. Since we want current through this resistance, let's solve it by finding the equivalent resistance of the circuit first, then we can use the current division formula. Okay, so here we go. Here 8 and 8 ohm are in parallel, so their equivalent is 4. 4 and 4 are being series, it means 8. This resultant of 3 is 8 ohm. 8 ohm and this 8 ohm are again in parallel, making it 4 ohm. And this entire 4 ohm and 6 ohm are in series, making the entire resistance as 10 ohm. So entire circuit has a resistance of 10 ohm. The battery is of 10 volt. So how much current it will send here? The current sent by battery is I will be V by R. So 10 by 10, that is 1 ampere. So 1 ampere current will go here and now it has 3 paths to go. Okay. All right. Now it has 3 paths to go. So how we solve this kind of question? See, it's very easy now. 8 and 8 ohm are in parallel. So what is their resultant? 4. 4 and 4 are in series. What is their resultant? 8. We have done this one time, right? So this entire thing is 8 ohm. Okay. Now this 8 ohm and this 8 ohm are in parallel. So two equal resistance, 8 and 8 are in parallel and 1 ampere current is coming here. At this junction it has to take 2 paths. And good thing is both paths are exactly identical. So how much will go in one path? Can you guess it? Half of 8 ohm, that is 4 ampere. So how much current will pass through our ammeter in steady state? 4 ampere. Okay. So 4 ampere being the correct option. Oh, sorry. Current is 1 ampere. My mistake. I was thinking about 8 ohm as 8 ampere. Basic rookie's mistake. But anyways, 1 ampere current is coming at this junction. The 1 ampere has to choose 2 path. Here, how much will go? 1.5 ampere. I think in option they have not written half ampere. So I will write current in ammeter is going to be 1 by 2 ampere. In option they have given 0.5 ampere. So I will select this option and this is the answer you are going to select. Okay. Again, you can see it's not a difficult question. It's easy but a bit calculative. So all the questions we have solved till now are easy only, but some of them are bit calculative, but most of them are not even that calculative. You can easily solve them. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. I think we have easily solved 4 or 5 questions till now and most of them are basically being easy. Okay. Next question looks like this. Again, if you have solved the basics of charge forces between two charges, then you might have seen this question while you were studying that topic. The question being this, we have a rod. Okay, the length of rod being 10 centimeter. The rod have some charge. The charge is 2 microcoulomb if my data is not incorrect. And there is a point charge 1 microcoulomb lying here. The rod is uniformly charged, so charge is nicely distributed uniformly over the rod. Now you can guess it. We have to find the force acting on this charge due to the rod. Okay. Now again, if you have done the basics of electrostatic force between a continuous and non-continuous body, you might immediately think this question is based on integration, right? So this question is solved from integration. It's one of the most basic topic we study while studying the electrostatic force of attraction and repulsion between the charges. So here what we are going to do is, one thing is we already have the formula. If you look at the notes in electrostatic, we have already derived a formula for it. But if you don't want to bother about the formulas and all, we can derive it again in the class, and you can see it will hardly take 1 minute. Under 1 minute you can solve this question. So what I'm going to do is, due to this rod, I want to find the force on the charge. The rod is being continuous, charge is being point charge. Since Coulomb's law is only given for force between 2 point charges, I will break the rod into small sections, find the force due to one small section, and then integrate it for the entire rod to calculate the net force. So I will take randomly some very tiny section of the rod having a charge dq, having a length, small length dx, and its net distance from the charge being x. This tiny portion of the rod is going to apply a very tiny force df. How much this df is going to be? K, that is Coulomb's law constant, q1, which is being dq, I will write q1 as the other force. So K q1 1 microcoulomb, q2 dq microcoulomb by r square. R square means x square. Clear? Since these are microcoulomb charges, both are microcoulomb, or this one is microcoulomb, I will write 10 raised to the power minus 6. Now to continue or to find the net force on that charge, we have to add or integrate all the df forces due to entire rod. So we have to add all this df forces due to entire rod. Entire rod means starting from this point of the rod to this point of rod. Now this point will lie at a distance of, this distance is given as 2 centimeter in question. I will just cross check it so that we are not doing it incorrectly. In question, this distance is given at 2 centimeters. So limit of our integration will be, this dq can lie as close as 2 centimeter. So 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 2, and this dq can lie as far away as 10 plus 2, that is 12 centimeter. I will write it in SI unit, that is 12 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 meter. Now, this integration cannot be continued unless we find the value of dq in terms of dx. Okay, the value of dq in terms of dx. Then only we can continue. So now I will take a little bit detour here and solve it parallelly. The entire charge on the rod is 2 microcoulomb. So what is the charge per unit length? 2 microcoulomb by the length of the rod, that is 10 centimeter. Okay, now instead of writing microcoulomb, why not write it 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 coulomb. So this is charge on 1 meter length of the rod, charge per unit length. Since we want charge on dx meter of the rod, so dq charge on the small part dx is going to be charge per unit length, charge of 1 meter into the length of this portion dx. Okay. Now what is lambda? I will put the value from above equation. Let's calculate 10 raised to the power also, minus 6. Here we have minus 1, so we will get 10 raised to the power minus 5. So 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 dx. Let's put it back here and let's continue the force. So I will write it here only. The force is going to be, since k is constant, I will take it out. 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 2, 12 into 10 raised to the power minus 2. Okay. dq I will put as 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 dx by x square. Right. Now see how to integrate it. Dx 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 will go outside. So k into 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 is out. Now we are getting integration of dx by x square. I am ignoring limit for time being. I will put limit back when we are going to finally put the limits. How to integrate it? 1 by x square can be written as x to the power minus 2. Integration of x to the power minus 2 is going to be, integration of x to the power minus 2 is going to be x to the power minus 1 by minus 1. Now we can put the limits, limits being 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 to 12 into 10 raised to the power minus 2. Okay. Now I can take minus sign out, k being 9 into 10 raised to the power 9 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 5, 1 by x, because x to the power minus 1 is 1 by x, we are going to get 12 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 minus 1 by 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 2. Okay. Now, I can understand this question is a bit lengthy, but technically it's a moderate level question. It's not tough, only a bit calculation is there. Okay, anyways, so continuing it, 9 2s are 18, minus sign as it is. 10 raised to the power will be 4 here, and in bracket, I can take 10 raised to the power minus 2 common, 1 by 12 minus 1 by 2. If I take LCM, it will be 12. 1 minus 6 times will be here. Now see, we are going to get minus 5 from here, minus minus will become plus. So in the next part, I can directly cancel this minus with minus 5, making it plus 5. So 4's being how much? 18 into 10 raised to the power 2. Okay, so 18 into 10 raised to the power 2 into 5 by 12. All right. Now 6 2s is 12, 6 3s is 18. Force will be 15 by 2, that is 7.5 into 10 raised to the power 2 Newton. So force being 750 Newton. So this is the answer that you have to select in the option. Okay. So 7.750 Newton. I will just cross check it once. Any calculation regarding the power I have not done correctly. And then we will move on to the next subject, that is mathematics. Okay. So I will just give it a cross check that I have not done any mistake while calculating the powers and all. Okay. And I think it looks pretty good only, right? So it looks pretty solid. I don't think there is much mistake. So this was the physics paper. These are the questions that we have got till now. We will be starting mathematics and chemistry questions shortly. Okay. Talking about the level of physics question, the questions were basically easy to moderate level only. Some questions are a bit calculative, but most of them are of easy level only. So I hope all of you who has given this paper has done very well in the exam. Okay. So now I will invite the maths teacher to continue to take over from here, and we'll see you a little bit after. We'll solve some more physics question from here. Okay. So wait for a minute.
Okay. Hello. Good evening to all of you. Now myself is Rohit Kumar Singh and I am representing the PW Vidyapeeth Karnataka. So we are going to discuss about the chemistry section here. Okay. So if you go with the analysis of this section, the chemistry section, so you can bifurcate this whole section into the three part. Okay. And the complete, you can say the bifurcation is look like this. Like 37% paper is kind of the easy. Okay. And if you talk about like 33% paper, it is like a, you can say that it is a tough portion, like not exactly tough, it is like a moderate kind of the tough, that is the lengthy section. Okay, but you need more time to solve these kind of the sections, and the rest of the part is easy. to moderate. Okay. So actual scenario of the chemistry paper is look like this. Okay. And if you talk about the what kind of the percentage is there, so now you can go with it. The two sections are there, 11th and 12th. Okay. And 11th covered nearby the 44%, and the rest portion is covered by the 12th. So this is all about the scenario of the 11th, 12th also. Okay. So this is all about the bifurcation of the tough paper and the paper of the type of the questions, and easy questions, tough questions, moderate questions. So according to our observation of the paper 2 of today's section, it is look like this kind. The paper is easy to moderate. In its starting way, you are thinking like that the paper is so much easy, but after some time you feel like that the lengthiness of the paper is so much okay. So this is a kind of the serious kind of the paper of the IT JEE mains first session of January, 24th January. Okay. So now we are going to discuss the paper one by one, and the questions, whatever the question I got it, I'm going to solve it. Okay. But one thing I can make sure, कि if you literally serious about the preparation of the JEE, then you have to take care of the notes of the teacher, of the class teacher. That is more than sufficient to resolve all these kind of the issues. Okay. And today's paper is look like this, like a management. Okay. If you are able to manage the time, you are able to do the good marks in this coming in this particular paper. Okay. So let's start with the paper. So I hope if I'm writing the question, then you can connect with me. Yes, sir, this kind of the question is there, and this is the answer. Okay. So let's see. So this is a question number 1 I got today. The first question is look like this. They are saying like that. One compound is written here, COCN whole 6 minus minus minus. The second compound is written here. This is A. Then the second compound is written here, CONH3 whole 6. Sorry. CONH3 whole 5 S2O plus 3. Okay. Then the third compound is written here, COS2O whole 6 plus 3. And the fourth one is written look like this, COF6 minus 3. Okay. So all these 4 options are given to you, and according to the question, it is written that wavelength absorbed by above complex in the order. Okay. So this is the question actually. So if you go with it, you can see the question now. The compound question is saying like that one complex is called the CuCN whole 6 minus 3. The second one is called CuNH3 whole 5 S2 plus 3. The third one is called CuS2 whole 6 plus 3, and the D1 is the CuF6 minus 3. And what is the actual USP of this question? So according to the question, they are asking about the wavelength absorbed. Okay. Wavelength absorbed by above complex in the order. That means you have to arrange all these 4 compounds in the ascending order or the descending or whatever given into the options according to the wavelength absorption. Okay. I hope all of you are aware about it. Whenever we talk about the wavelength absorption, that means we know that energy is inversely proportional to wavelength. Correct? Like E equal to SC by lambda, then you know about it. And when we are talking about the energy here in this chapter, which is called the coordination chemistry, we are talking about the energy which is called CFSE. What is the CFSE? Crystal field spreading energy. Got it? So that we can say that energy is inversely proportional to the wavelength. Okay. If the energy is inversely proportional to the wavelength, then we can say one thing, कि whatever the wavelength is absorbed is inversely proportional to the energy defined by this CFSE energy defined by this complex. Now the question is how to relate the CFSE, sir? Then I think all of you are aware about it, that CFSEs depend on the strength of the ligands. Correct? Strength of the ligands. So I hope this is the none other than a kind of the question where you know what is the actual order of the strength of the ligand, then you are able to solve this question. So you can say that this is a kind of the easy question. Okay, if you are able to connect the things. So now tell me one thing, what is the actual order of the strength of these ligands? Now you can see the first ligand is their cyanide, the second one is called ammonia, the third one is called water, and the fourth one is called fluorine. Okay, and if you go with the kind of the priority order of the ligands, I hope all of you are aware about that the one of the most priority of the ligands you can arrange look like this. The one of the donor is carbon, is one of the highest. Then the second one is called nitrogen, then the third one is called oxygen, then the fourth one is called halogen. This is a kind of the short way of the order to arrange the ligands on the basis of their strength. So if you go with it, the strength of the priority of the ligands, if you go with it, then you know that the donor of the carbon is a higher one, then the nitrogen, then oxygen, then halogen. So now connect with me. Now tell me which one is the greater strength, which one has the greater strength of the ligands here. So now you can see here the cyanide, because carbon donor is there. Then you can say that, sir, A has the maximum CFS energy because CFS is depend on the strength of ligands. So now you can go with the options. So now you can say that the higher energy absorbed by this one, because the CFS energy is depend on the strength of the ligands. So higher energy absorbed by this one, that means the wavelength should be the lower, because they are asking about the wavelength absorption, correct? So that definitely, if the energy is higher than the wavelength absorption is lower, then we can say the order is look like this. And if you go with the 4 option, I hope so, any 2 options are there where the A is the lowest one, correct? After getting the idea of the A, now tell me what is the next order of this. So here the donor is oxygen, here the donor is nitrogen. Then all of you are aware about this. Nitrogen donating capacity is higher than oxygen. Then you can go with which kind of the options? B. So then if the B strength is the basically and CFS energy is higher in compared to the C and D, then definitely the wavelength absorption should be lower. Then we can say the B1. Okay. And then after in water and fluorine, all of you are aware about this is the halogen, this is the oxygen. Then the energy absorption by this is a maximum. You can say the CFSE for this option is maximum. Then wavelength is lower, then it is C. And then after option here is D. The D1 is the highest wavelength absorbed. Reason is D is absorbing the highest wavelength. The reason is very simple, because wavelength is inversely proportional to energy and energy is directly proportional to the strength of the ligands. And according to our strength, the halogens has the least strength of the ligands. Then if the least strength of the ligands, then CFSE is least, energy is least, so lambda is max. So that's why option should be look like this: A, B, C, D. This is your answer. Okay, so I hope you understand this, that this kind of a question is look like this. If you are aware about the strength ligands order, you are able to solve these questions. Done? Okay, thank you. Now we can move towards the next question. Okay, so if you go with the next question here, the next question is written like this. The question number 2 is there, and whatever the number of the question, I don't know. So the question number 1, the statement based, the statement number 1 and statement number 2 is written there. Okay, so in statement number 1, you can see here it is written like this: 2 different aldehydes. Okay, 2 different aldehydes, 2 different aldehydes on cross aldol condensation always gives 4 products. Okay, bachcho. So now you can match your options. Okay, statement number 2 is given here: among benzaldehyde, okay, among benzaldehyde and acetophenone, among benzaldehyde and acetophenone, only act with semi-carbazine. Okay, so these are the options actually. Okay, the statement 1 is given here: the 2 different aldehydes. Okay, 2 different aldehydes on cross aldol condensation always gives 4 products. This is the one of the unique thing in this whole statement. You can see the word is kind of 4. So now we have to press on this particular word कि why the 4 product should be there or it may be. The question is that कि yes sir, I know in a classroom also when we are going to discuss about the aldol condensation, we say that yes, 4 products are possible, correct? 3 products are also possible, 4 products are possible, but the thing is, it is always possible. It is written here, it is always possible. No sir, it is not always possible. The main word in this statement is always, nothing more. Okay, if always word is not there, then definitely this option should be correct, but it is written here always. That means not less than 4, not more than 4. But we know that in many kind of the aldol condensation, the more than 4 product is also possible when we are going to insert the optical and geometrical isomerism in the reactions. So that's why we can go with it. You know sir, always word is not correct. So then we can say this is statement number 1 is wrong. Correct? Now we can move toward the statement number 2. Among the benzaldehyde, okay bache. So benzaldehyde, among the benzaldehyde, correct? And according to acetophenone, then acetophenone is also there. So the question is, benzaldehyde and acetophenone, only acetophenone can act with semicarbazide. See, the basic thing is semicarbazide is look like this, NH2CO, NH, NH2. Okay, but I think we know what kind of the mechanism is going on here. So we know that, you know sir, the both kind of the compounds, okay, the both kind of the compounds can react with the, because their oxygen is moving with the what hydrogen to form the water molecule. Okay, so now we can say that, you know sir, it is not like that. The actually benzaldehyde and acetophenone both are able to react with the semicarbazide, not only acetophenone according to the data. So we can say again the statement 2 is also incorrect. So we can go with the options. The 4 options are there. Statement 1, both statements are correct. Statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct. Look like this. So now you know that in your option, the one option is also there, both statement 1 and 2 is incorrect. So you can go with that, both statement 1 and 2 is both are incorrect. So I hope you understand. Okay, and I hope कि आपने ये गलती नहीं की होगी, है ना? All of you aware about it, what is going on, and all the things are actually related to our class notes. So don't worry. And if you focus with the, I am actually appealing with all kind of the students who actually reading, yeah, you can say that who just belongs to the class 11th and 12th, as well as the preparing for the second session of the April of the January of the JEE. Please be focused with your class notes, be confident with your teacher, you will get the all kind of the questions. Okay, so this is the kind of the proof you can see here. Okay, now we can move towards next question. So next question is look like this. The question is look like this. The thing is, structure is look like this. This is CH3, okay, this is H, this is H, then the next is CH3, this is H, this one is H, this is first, and the second structure is look like this also, like CH3, H, H, okay, and then H, CH3 and CH, okay. This is the question number, compound number 2. Now you know that this kind of the structure we are actually discussing in the kind of the section called conformational isomerism. In the conformational isomerism, 2 kinds of the projections are there, which one is Newman and the second one is Sawhorse. And we know that this is a kind of the steering kind of the cycle, okay, like car steering. So we know very well what kind of the structure it is. It is a Newman projection. Okay, so this is a Newman projection, and this is the Newman projection of butane. Okay, because all of you are aware about, one is the front carbon, second one is the back carbon. The 2 carbons are there and 2 carbons is here. So 2 carbon with the single bond is called butane. Okay, so this is the structure belongs to the butane, the first one and the second one. Now the question is look like this: statement 1 and statement 2. Okay, so there are again, you know, the 4 statements are there. Statement 1 is correct, second is incorrect, statement first is incorrect, second is correct, statement both statements are correct, and the both statements are incorrect. So we have to choose one. Okay, so statement 1 is written look like this. The statement 1 is the second is more stable than first. Okay, so in this statement it is written, if you talk about the stability, the second one is more stable than first one. Okay, so first of all we will discuss this particular statement. So statement 2 is the compound 2 is more stable than first one. Is it true? Sir, this is one of the easiest portion. We know that. Okay, sir, here you can see the both methyl group actually belongs to the very much close to each other. You can say it is a kind of the eclipse configuration. And do you know, when the same groups are there, then definitely repulsion should be there. And due to that repulsion, the compound is feeling very much unstable. But here you can see this kind of the structure is called anti-staggered because the 180-degree angle is there. So you know that here the same groups are actually so much close, so their repulsion is going on, which is actually responsible for their instability. But here there is no repulsion because the same kind of the group is just opposite to each other. Thus we can say there is no repulsion, then it is feeling so much stable. So thus we can say that the second one is more stable than the first one, which is true. Yes sir, this is true. This statement is correct. And the next one, the second statement is written here as a dihedral angle, increases, okay, as a dihedral angle increases, stability decreases. Okay, it is okay now if I'm using the word arrow, increases and decreases. Okay, so statement number second is as a dihedral angle increases, stability decreases. I don't think so. If you go with it, okay, so now you can see dihedral angle increases, stability decreases. I know sir, here you see the angle is here approximately, if the completely eclipse, then the angle is 0 degree nearby, but here the angle is nearby the 180 degree. Now you can say that the angle is getting increases and stability is also getting increases now. But in this statement is written here the angle is getting increases, then the stability is getting decreases. Thus we can say that it's a very easy, this is completely wrong. Okay, so now we can go with the options. The statement 1 is correct and the statement 2 is incorrect. I hope all of you understand what is going on, and this is one of the easiest portion because we discuss each and everything in the classroom. Okay, now we can move towards the next question here. The next question is look like this. They are asking about 2-degree alcohol. That's it. Okay, so there are so many compounds and they are asking how many 2-degree alcohols are there. So if you go with it, now how many compounds are there, sir? Let's see. The first compound is written here. This is double bond. This is OH. Okay, this is A. Then the second one is look like this. Then the third one is look like this. And the fourth one is look like this. Okay, and now they are asking about the question. Options are written in this manner. The option number first is B, C, E. Option number second is B, C, D, E. Option number third is A, C, D, E. And the option number fourth is A, B, D. Okay, so now you can see this is one of the basic question you can say. It is not the standard of the IT mains, but we have to, because I already told you that nearby the 37% questions are so much easy. Okay, so this is a kind of the easiest question. Okay, so you need to identify the 2nd-degree alcohol. Okay, you know this is a kind of the group which is called the COOH. This is acid. There is no alcohol. It is out. If it is out, then we can say A should be not in our option. So A options automatically cancel out. This is a kind of the elimination process. So now I have to work on the two options BCE and BCD. Now you can see BCE, this is BCE. BCE is common. Now we can say we have to check only D. So actually I am decreasing the time so that I can utilize that time for the complicated questions or the lengthy questions. So now you see B should be 2 degree according to, because B is common. C should be 2 degree. If you go with it, C should be 2 degree. So now you can see this is 2 degree, sir. Why? 1 carbon, 1 carbon. This is okay, sir. B is 2 degree, no issue. Sir, if you talk about the D, it is also 2 degree, sir. You can see it is also 2 degree. We can go with this also. Now you can see where is the next option. So this is the next option. So this is the 2 degree. I don't think so. Why? Because here OH is written. which is connected with only one carbon. Here also the one carbon is connected with alcohol, so it is not a 2 degree. So now I think so some kind of the option mistake should be there. I think it is not BCE. BC should be not there, so it will be B and E. And if this is a memory based question, all of you aware about it. So let's check once. Yeah, the only this kind of this is written here. So if you go with the option, then I can go with the option only B and E right now according to the our data, which is actually given by the students according to the memory based. Yeah, maybe I am actually not convinced with this. Maybe possible here option should be look like BE option should be there, or the any kind of the compound is getting changed also. Okay, so if you go with it, they are asking about the 2 degree alcohols, so that we can go with the 2 degree alcohol here. So then we can go with it option number B, then after option number C. Okay, okay. So this is the options. Okay, now we can move further. Okay, now the next question is written look like this. Okay, one options actually I missed in this last question. Okay, one option is also written here. E actually here na E. The E should be there. Oh, it's my mistake. I actually I forget to write the E. Okay, this is H. This is H. This is OH. Now it is clear, sir. This is 2 degrees, sir. You can see secondary. Yes, E is also there. Now I am going to be convinced the options look like this. Here option should be B, D, E. Yes. Now this is correct option. Okay. So now we can go with the option number B, D, E. I actually in PPT it is not written in the proper manner. That's why. So E is also there. So I hope all of you are going to match this option. Okay. Because all you know, this question is in today's exam. So you know very well. Okay. So now B, D, E is the correct option. If you have any issue, then you can discuss because it is completely live. Okay, now we can move toward the next question. Let's see. Okay, the next question is, I think one question is look like this also. They're asking about second ionization energy. Okay, second ionization energy of OCNF. Okay, and options are given to you look like this: CNFO, option B CFNO, option C CFON. Okay, the third option is look like this: ENOF, and the fourth one is look like this: COFN. So I hope all of you are aware about when we are talk about ionization energy, we need to solve these kind of the question by the help of the electronic configuration. This one is one of the easiest process. Either it is an exceptional, non-exceptional, it doesn't matter. If you know how to write electronic configuration, you are able to solve these kind of the questions. Okay, so now let's see. We have 4 elements. Okay, so now tell me carbon. If you write the configuration of carbon, then you will get 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Okay, last one is this. Why you are talking about the last orbital? Because ionization energy is going to apply on the last orbital only. Okay, then we can talk about the nitrogen. 7, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Okay, now we can talk about the oxygen. It is look like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So this kind of the question is in easy category. Okay, and the fluorine is look like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Okay, now sir, we are ready with our configuration. Now you can see, according to the question, they are asking about the second ionization energy, not first, second. So can you tell me one thing? When you are going to apply the first one, what will happen? 1 electron left, 1 electron left, 1 electron left, 1 electron left. So after getting the ionization energy number 1, all you are getting look like this: 2p1, this is 2p2, this is 2p3, and this is 2p4. Now sir, answer is matched. Why sir? This is the after IE1, this is going to be happen. But after you know that when you are going to remove the second ionization energy, because they are talking about the second, so you need to remove the second electron also. So now you are going to remove the second electron. Now you say, according to the half filled and full filled concept, which kind of the orbital is one of the most stable orbital here? P3 sir. That means we are not able to remove the second electron from this oxygen in easy manner. That means the second ionization energy for the oxygen should be max. So if you go with the option, only one option is there, so there is no need to discussion. answer A. Okay, so this is a way to resolve this problem. Now we can talk about the next question according to the memory based data. Okay, so now we can talk about next question. Yeah, one question is look like this. They are asking about how many linear, their question about how many, okay, linear tripeptides are possible with valine, which is, all of you aware about the valine, short version is VAL, comma, this is glycine, which is called GLY, and the next one is called alanine, which is called ALA. Okay, no amino acid should be repeated, or in the one condition is there, no amino acid should be repeated. Okay, this is the question. Options are given here: 8, 5, 6 and 4. Now you can go with it. What is the actual intention of the question, what they are going to ask you? So now if you go with this kind of the question, so generally the JEE students are actually struggling with this kind of the topic because it belongs to the biomolecule, it's kind of the memorization. Okay, but I think the basic things should be clear. So all of you aware about valine, glycine, alanine. Okay, correct? All are these look like a proteins. Okay, and in the proteins the peptide linkage are there. All of you aware about what is the peptide linkage, sir? It is look like this. If you go with it, it is look like this. This is the peptide linkage. Okay, so the proteins are getting connected by the which kind of the bond? Peptide bond. All of you are aware about it. So they are asking, sir, how many tripeptide? The question is how many linear tripeptide? Tripeptide, that means the 3 proteins are there, they are getting connected with each other. Then how many peptide bond can be there? Sure. So I can say one thing, sir. You are talking about the 3 proteins, then each protein 1 peptide should be there. Then the 3 proteins, that means factorial 3. That is a simple probability to find out the number of peptide linkage. So factorial 3, then answer should be 6. So I don't think so it is look like this. If you know the basic things like these are the proteins and all the proteins are actually connected by the peptides and they are using the word tripeptides, that means the probability should be 3 times more, because of all the last bonding is, if you are going to connect the peptides, the proteins, then every time you will get the peptides. Okay, then the probability to finding the number of peptides, it's a factorial 3. Okay, so this is the basic kind of a question. If you are going to connect the all proteins, you will get how many peptides are getting connected with each other. Are you getting a point? Because to connect the 2 proteins, after we are going to connect the 2 proteins, we will get removation, you can say the removation of the water, dehydration, and the peptide linkage should be there. Then the 2 proteins are connected with the 1 peptide bond, then the 3 proteins are there, then what is the probability to find out the peptide linkage? Done. So I think it's a very easy question. Okay, now we can move toward the next question. It's a memory based questions. Now we can talk about the next question now. Okay, one of the most easy question, but it is kind of the question like easy to moderate. Okay, the question is an electron, okay, make transition, one electron make transition from higher energy orbit N2 to lower energy N1. Okay, in Li++ ion. Okay, this is the statement of the question. If N1 plus N2 gives 4, N2 minus N1 gives 2, then find out wavelength during the transition of electron in nanometer. Okay, in nanometer. All of you aware about the 1 nanometer equal to how much? 10 to the power minus 9, hai na? Meter. Okay, so this is the kind of a question, and the options are also given here. I am lucky here to have option 12.9 nanometer, 11.4 nanometer, 16.7 nanometer, and 9.2 nanometer. If you talk about this kind of the question, this kind of the question is completely based on your calculation skill. Otherwise, this question is completely basic kind of the questions. Okay. So if you talk about the calculation point of view, this is kind of the question is moderate like a question. Okay. How you are going to deal with this kind of the question? So let's see. If you have two equations, n1 plus n2 4, n2 minus n1 2. Now you can say one thing, sir. I need lambda. Okay. What is the basic formula of the lambda? The lambda equal to RH z square 1 upon nf square, or you can say 1 upon n2 square minus 1 upon n1 square. Okay. So now you can see RH, Rydberg constant, Z stand for atomic number. All of you are aware about the atomic number of lithium is 3. Okay. So this is 3. So now 1 by lambda equal to, okay, what is the value of the RH? So all of you are aware 1.0977 into 10 to the power 7, correct? Z lithium atomic number is 3 square. I need only n2 square minus 1 upon n1 square. Then we are able to solve this question. Done. So overall, this complete calculation of this question is based on how you are going to find out n2 and n1. So now to find out n2 and n1, question is helping us how? By providing the two equation n2 plus n1 equal to 4, and the second option is, second equation is n2 minus n1 equal to 2. And if you are solving this equation by the help of the class 8 or 9th mathematics, then this is getting cancelled out. Then it is 2n2 equal to 6. Then you can say n2 equal to how much? 3. And now you say if n2 equal to 3, then according to this equation, if n2 equal to 3, then n1 should be 1. Correct? So then put the value of the n2 here. n2 equal to 3 and n1 value is how much? 1. Now this is completely depends on you how you are going to solve this problem, because simple mathematical problem it is. You have to do one thing. You have to reverse this particular, because you are calculating 1 by lambda, but I need lambda. You have to reverse it. That's it. So after calculation, if you are going to reverse this data, you will get a kind of the option called 11.4. Done. So this is the basic kind of the question. The main thing is that you know how to resolve this problem by the help of the equation. So what is the USP of this question? The USP of this question is, if you know the formula, you are able to solve this question. Okay. Now next one. This is the last question which I have, and if I will get any other question, then we are going to discuss also. Okay. So one next question is look like this, and yes, one of the best question I think so from this paper if you talk about. So this is one of the best question till now. Okay, and you can categorize this question into the tough category. This is CrS2O whole 6. This is CrS2O whole 6 dot Cl3. Okay, this is the kind of the complex is given to you. So conductance similar to, so conductance 1:2. Okay. Show conductance 1:2 electrolyte in aqueous solution. Show conductance 1:2 in aqueous solution. In aqueous solution. Some data is missing in this question. Let's see. Yes. In aqueous solution, okay, then 9.3 gram of this complex, 9.3 gram of this complex is passes through a cation exchanger, then excess of AgNO3 is added. Fine. They are asking about the find the mass of the precipitation gram. So actual में please find out the mass of precipitated AgCl during the process, okay, in gram. So this is overall the question, and for your help, molar mass is given to you. Molar mass of chromium is given to you 52, okay, it is given to you. Now how you are going to resolve this problem, and this is one of the best, you can say that in today's paper this is one of the best question till now, okay, where you have to think about the proper equations and as well as the calculation part, okay. So let's see, the question is this is, okay, this is a complex, and this complex is show the conductance in the ratio of 1:2, okay, in aqueous solution of 9.3 gram of this complex. That means the complex total amount is 9.3 gram. So I need to find out how it is going to passes with the excess of AgNO3, okay, because the problem is in a one particular container this complex is there, and after some time you are going to add one cation exchanger, okay, which is AgNO3. Done. So now we can say that this is a kind of the complex, okay. How to write this kind of the complex? According to the Werner's theory. All of you are aware about the Werner's theory. So then it is look like this: Cr S2O whole 4, okay, then it is Cl Cl2 dot S2O, okay. Now your question is, sir, why you are writing this complex in this manner only? The reason is very simple. We can write this complex in different manner also, but the problem is that it is actually written here the conductance in the ratio of 1:2, okay. So now this is the 1:2, you can see here this complete complex is 1, and when this is getting decomposed then it is 2 ions, so it is 1:2. It is written actually in the numerical, you can see here. Now when you are going to add this equation with the added amount of AgNO3, okay, because they are saying now AgNO3 is added, so when you are going to add this particular complex with the excess amount, yeah, added amount of the AgNO3, what will happen? All of you are aware about. See, this is the minus charge, because this is the right side of the complex, it is going to ionize. This is called the primary valency of the complex, okay. So this is ionized. Now I have to take the 2 moles of the silver also. Now 2 Ag, 2 Cl, they are getting combined with each other to form the precipitate of AgCl. So that means in this numerical they are talking about this precipitation of the AgCl. Done. So I need to find out what is the weight of this in gram. This is a simple question. So the thing is, this one line statement is going to judge your coordination basic calculations, coordination basic scenario, and as well as you know what is the Werner's theory. If you don't know Werner's theory, you are also not able to solve this problem. That means in a single question they are going to check your knowledge of the coordination chemistry as well as the some basic concept of chemistry also, because the mole concept, okay. So this is one of the best question till now I have right now. So now let's see how we are going to deal with it. So sir, it's a very simple, it's a kind of the equation. So I need to connect the two things, because weight of this is given to you how much, sir? 9.3 gram. It is given to you, don't worry. So if it is given to you, you need to find out the weight of this, then you have to connect the weight of this particular both equations, okay. So now how you are going to connect equation of these particular two datas? So let's see, I am going to connect in this way: n1 upon, okay, n1 upon stoichiometric coefficient of this equal to n2 upon stoichiometric coefficient. And I think I don't need to explain how it is possible, because all of you are aware about from the some basic concept of chemistry. We can do, we can write the two components in the comparative factor, okay. So now let's see, n1, so this is the mole of this one, because we are going to connect this and this. So n1 stands for number of moles, yani weight by molecular mass. So weight of this complex, I am writing here complex, so you can understand. So weight, number of moles, weight upon molecular mass, okay, divided by stoichiometric, यहाँ पर ले लेंगे हम stoichiometric coefficient. What is the stoichiometric coefficient here? 1. So this is 1. Done. So kindly, now the next one, if you go with the AgCl, what is the weight? I need to find out, sir. I need to find out, because we are talking about the weight in this equation only. Weight, the number of moles of this is weight by molecular mass. The molecular mass of AgCl, okay, molecular mass of AgCl divided by, this is the molecular mass, this is the molecular mass, divided by, what is? Divided by stoichiometric coefficient. What is the stoichiometric coefficient here? 2. I hope this equation is ready for all of you. Done. So now you are going to deal with it. So now finally, weight of complex, okay, divided by molecular mass of the complex. Stoichiometry is 1. Weight of AgCl divided by molecular mass of AgCl divided by stoichiometric coefficient is 2. I already written here now. Done. Now you can see here. This is weight is given to you, I think so. If you go with the question, weight is given to you 9.3 gram. You can see here 9.3 gram. Okay. Molecular mass. So this is not my job. You are actually participating in the JEE most prestigious examination. All of you are able to find out the molecular mass of Tr S2O whole 6.Cl3. Correct, na? All of you are able to find out the molecular mass of this complex. So I hope all of you are able to solve it. Okay. Chromium molecular mass is given to you 52. Now you have to put your value. Now the weight of HCl, I need to find out molecular mass of HCl. You are also able to find out the molecular mass of silver plus molecular mass of chlorine. Silver mass is 108 and chlorine mass is 35.5. You have to add both the equation. You will get the molar mass. Now you are going to solve it. So finally you will get the AgCl total amount. This is the question you have to solve. Done. And I don't know what is the actual 4 options are given there. So I can assure you, if you are going to solve this question, this is one of the best question from today's paper. Okay. And if you are able to solve this question, that means you be relaxed. You are getting good marks in the chemistry section. Okay. So till now I have these kind of the questions. So if we get next question of the chemistry, then definitely I will be here again. Thank you so much. Maths, sir.
So hello students, now we are going to discuss the maths portion, and if we look at the overall paper, so questions are mostly 10 to 15 questions are easy to moderate. Okay, and even if the paper is lengthy, one good thing about that paper is all the questions are standard questions. So what do I mean by standard questions? Means all the questions you have seen in the previous year papers, right? Or you must have done in your classrooms, right? DPPs modules. So all of them are very standard questions, similar kind of questions we have done earlier, right? So this is the best part, because even if the paper is lengthy, but if we know that same kind of question we have done earlier, right? So our confidence in that question will be higher, right, to solve the questions. Okay. So I will take some of the questions. So first I will take the question from permutation and combination, and the question is what is the rank of Udaipur, right, according to the dictionary. So again, it is a very simple and straightforward question. Now again, there are some confusion about the spelling of Udaipur. Some of the students are saying, sir, it is Y in place of I, right? So I will tell you the concept by using I in place of Y, because we don't know actually what is I or Y is there in exam. Okay. So we'll learn the concept, then you can solve it by your own for Y, right? So you can solve this part by yourself. Okay. I will be solving this part. So how to solve this? How to find out the rank? It is very simple. We will use the trick, and the trick is simple. Just write the number of this alphabets according to the dictionary, or in the ascending order of dictionary. Okay. So first number will be, or first letter will be A. So I will mark this as A1. Then second will be D. I will mark it as 2. Then after D, it will be I. After I, it will be P. Then R. And then we have finally U. So in this question, U is repeating twice. So we will mark both the u as 6, right? Now first row is similar in all the questions. It will be 0 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial, 5 factorial and 6 factorial, right? So it will be same. If more letters are there, we'll continue in this ascending order. Okay, now if we see the first letter from going left to right, so u, first letter is u. Now how many of the letters on the right side of u are smaller than u? Okay, means how many of the letters will appear before u if we go in a sequence from a to z, right? So all of them are smaller than u, or will come first, will come before u. Okay, but this u is repeating, so I will not count this u. So there will be total 5 letters, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, similarly we'll do for d. So there is only one a come before d, so it will be 1. Then for a it will be 0, I again it will be 0, for p again it is 0, for u it is 1, and for r it is 0. Okay, you can just see the numbers also, right? So how many numbers are smaller than 6 on the right side of u? There are 5 numbers. How many numbers are smaller than 2? It is only 1 number, right? How many numbers are smaller than 1? None of them is smaller, so it is 0. How many of them are smaller than 3 on the right side of this, right? So there is no number which is smaller than 3, so it will be 0. Similarly I have written for all of them, right? Now u is repeating twice, so we will divide this 6 factorial by 2 and this 1 factorial by 2. Sorry, not this 1 factorial, we have to divide this by 2, right? Because u is repeating twice on the right side of u is repeating twice, right? But if we see this u will be on the left, not on the right. Okay, now multiply the corresponding numbers and add them. So it will be 6 factorial by 2 into 5 plus 5 factorial into 1. Then this will be 0, 0, 0, and this is 1 factorial into 1, and this is again 0, and finally we have to add 1 at last. After this calculation we have to add 1. Okay, so you can add 1 in the starting or at the last, right? Depends on you. So this will be 720 by 2 into 5 plus 120, this is 1 and this is again 1, right? So this is 360 into 5 is 1800 plus 122. So final answer is going to be 1922, right? So same kind of question we have discussed in class many times, rank of the word, right? It is very standard question, so it is very easy, right? So I will take second question, and second question is that the maximum value of n for which 40 power n, this is second question, 40 power n divides 60 factorial, right? We need to find maximum value of n, or we can say maximum power of 40, right? So that 40 power n will divide 60 factorial, right? Okay, so firstly I will prime factorize this number 40. So prime factor of 40 will be 2 into 2 into 2 into 5. Okay, it means in 40 2 is repeating thrice and 5 is repeating 1. Now what is the concept? Concept is simple. We need to find out how many 2 and 5 are there in this 60 factorial. Okay, if we open this 60 factorial, that is 60, 59, 58 and so on till 1, we need to find out how many 5 and how many 2 this 60 factorial contain, right? So again we will not go by simple method, right? Because it will be very lengthy. So there is trick, right? And trick is very simple. divide this 60 by 2. Okay, so if you divide this 60 by 2, it will be 30. Divide this 60, divide this 30 again by 2, so it will be 15. Okay, divide this 15 by 2, so it will be 7.5, right? But we will write the integer part, so integer part is 7. It will be 7.5, but we will not write 7.5, we'll write it as 7 only, right? Then again divide by 2, so answer will be 3.5, but we will write only integer portion. Again by 2, so integer portion will be 1. So we'll divide till this number is smaller than the number which we are using for the division. Okay, now add all the numbers from 30 to 1. So if you add all the numbers from 30 to 1, so it is 45 and then 45 and 7 50, 52 plus 3 55 plus 1, this is 56. So this contains 2 power 56. Okay, similarly we'll solve for 5. So now divide this 60 by 5. So if we divide 12 times, then again divide by 5, it will be 2 point something, right? But we'll write the integer part, and integer part is 2. Now we'll stop division here because this number is smaller than the number by which we are dividing. Okay, so now if you add these two, so 12 plus 2 is 14. Okay, so it will contain 5 power 14, right? It will contain 5 power 14. Now to make 40, we need 3 2s and 1 5. Okay, so how many 40 can be constructed here? Okay, so if we are taking all the 5s, then we need to take 42 2s. Why? Because for every 1 5 there are 3 2 required. Okay, and remaining will be written as it is, remaining 14 will be written as it is. So combining these, it will become 40 power 14. It will become 40 power 14. So maximum value is 14, right? We can't make more than 14 40s. Why? Because we have 2, some 2s are remaining, but we don't have any 5 to pair it with. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Again, it is very standard question. Now we'll go to the third question. Third question is bit calculative, or I will say that to solve such questions we need to use option elimination. Okay, and option elimination will be the best method, right, for any question, because we all know that in JEE mains, okay, especially if we talk about JEE mains, there is only one correct option, right? There is only one correct option. So first option is we need to find the value of n. So first option is 6, second option is 5, third option is 8, and fourth option is 4, right? Find the value of n. So what we need to do here, we need to find n. Find n. Okay, so one complex number is given, z equals to this, and we have z mod of z square. Okay, so if we take the modulus, so we all know that if we are taking the modulus, we can take the modulus of this part, then modulus of second, modulus of third, in this way. So modulus of this will be root 2, modulus of this will be 1 square plus 2 square, this is 1 square plus 3 square, then we have next number will be 1 plus 4 iota, right? So it will be 1 square plus 4 square, and so on, right? So on will continue till 1 plus n square. Okay, now if I square both the sides, right, so this will become mod z square, and mod z square is 4 4, 200. This will be 2, 5, and then we have 10, then we have 17. Now if you notice the pattern, there is a difference of 3. Now next number there is a difference of 5. Now next number there is a difference of 7. So every time difference is increasing by 2. So next time difference will be 9, right? So next number will be 26. Okay. So what we will do, we will try to solve first 4 numbers, because as I see the options, least number is 4, right? So first we will divide this 44200 by these 4 numbers, and then I will check what is left out here, right? So if we divide, so again I will do calculation quickly. So 2 into 5 is 10, 10 into 10 is 100. So this is 100, cancel out. Okay, so 442, and now divide this by 17, and some terms will be remaining here, right? So if you divide by 17, so 2 times 34 and again 6, so 26, right? And what is our next number? Next number is 26. Means only 5 terms are required. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 terms are required to get 44200. Okay, it means n has to be 5. N has to be 5. Okay, n has to be 5. So second option is again correct. Okay, so again this is a very simple question. You just need to do the division, right? And if you are good at calculation, I don't think it will take more than 2 minutes to solve the question. Fine. Okay, so this is our question number 3 for today. Now we'll see one more question, that is question number 4. Okay, and fourth question is, just a second, image of the parabola, x square equals to 4y in line x minus y equals to 1. So again this is very standard question, because we need to find image. Okay, and for image, firstly we'll draw a rough figure. So figure will be like this. One parabola is given, and that parabola is standard parabola, and it is upward parabola. Okay, again one more thing, figure is not required. Okay, because if you know the concept of image, we will take one parametric point on this parabola, and we all know that parametric point on this upward parabola is 280 and 80 square. So a is 1, that's why it will be 2t and t square. Now take the image of this point in this line, right? Or we can write this line in a standard form as x minus y minus 1 equals to 0. So if we find the image of this point, let this point be P and image is Q, right? So what will be the coordinates of Q? So if we use the formula x minus x1 by A, y minus y1 by B, minus of 2 ax1 minus plus by1 plus c. Okay, means put this point in the equation, that's it, and it divided by coefficient of x square plus coefficient of y square. So if we compare first and last part, so x minus 2t by 1, this will cancel out. So this will be minus of 2t plus of t square minus plus of 1. So it will cancel out, x is equals to t square plus 1. Similarly, if we compare second and third portion, okay, so if we compare second equals to third part, so y minus t square equals to, multiply this negative 1 to the right, it will be 2t minus t square minus 1. So y value is 2t minus 1. So we got the coordinates of q, that is t square plus 1, and we have 2t minus 1. Okay, so equate this with x and this with y. Okay, we need to eliminate t, right? So x is equals to t square plus 1, y is equals to 2t minus 1, so t is equals to y plus 1 by 2. Put this value of t in the first equation, you will get a equation of required figure, right? So just solve this part, you will get the final answer. Okay, so finally I think it will be 4 into x minus 1 equals to y plus 1 square. Okay, so again this is a standard question of image, in which you just need to take a one parametric point, find the image of that parametric point into the given line. Okay, figure again it is not required. Fine. So we'll take next question, that is question number 5. Fifth question is again very standard question, and you have seen such kind of questions many times in your DPP's modules, right? And whatever means these type of questions are also in PYQs, right? So same kind of question is again repeated. So it will be like this. I'm not writing the full terms. Okay, so basically there are infinite terms and we need to find the sum of infinite terms. Okay, we need to find the sum of infinite terms. So firstly I will consider this 1 by 3 as A and 4 by 7 as B. Okay, consider 1 by 3 as A and 4 by 7 as B. So your sequence will be like this. S is equals to A plus B plus second it will be A square plus B square plus AB. Then you have A cube plus A square B plus AB square plus B cube and so on. Okay, now this question can be solved by using one simple step. Okay, if you know that step, then it is done. Only simple calculations are required. Okay, and what is that step? You need to multiply this sequence by A minus B. Multiply by A minus B. So if you multiply by A minus B into A plus B, this will become A square minus B square. If you multiply A minus B to this factor, it will become A cube minus B cube. Similarly, it will become A power 4 minus B power 4, and it will go till infinity. So now it is a GP. If you see the first term, A terms, A square, A cube, A power 4, it is a GP. Okay, where common ratio is A. So infinite GP, sum of infinite GPs A upon 1 minus R. Similarly, B term is also forming a infinite GP, right? So it is B square upon 1 minus B. So now you just need to put out the values. So put A and B, 1 by 3 and 4 by 7. Now it is a very simple calculation, and I think the answer, final answer is going to be 5 by 2, right? You can cross verify, I am not doing the calculation. Okay, so this is again a very standard question, and it is easier in terms of calculation also. Okay, so this is our fifth question. Now we'll take one more question. Now this question is also very standard. We have a equation, we have a biquadratic equation, but this biquadratic equation has one very good thing, that is all the powers of x are even, right? So have 4 real roots, 4 real and distinct roots, 4 real and distinct roots. it is very standard questions of quadratic equation. Then we need to find the least value of a. Find least integral value of a. Integral value of a. Okay. So if we want 4 roots, that too real and distinct. Okay. So firstly, what is the concept here? I will replace x square by y. So now this will become a proper quadratic. This will become a proper quadratic. Okay. Now for this quadratic, if I solve this quadratic, so what I want y will have, or y should have, two different, for example 3 and 4, two different positive values. Okay, because suppose if y is 3 and 4, then it means x square is equals to 3 and 4. So x value will be plus root 3 minus root 3 plus 2 minus root 2. So we will get 4 distinct and real roots. Okay, but suppose if we get two similar values of y, okay, then suppose if this is 3 and this is also 3, so we will not get 4 different roots. Okay, similarly if we get some negative value of y, then roots will be imaginary, because if y is negative, then x square equals to negative means what? Okay, imaginary roots. So it is very simple, we want both the roots to be positive, right? For this quadratic equation, roots must be positive. Both the roots must be positive and they should be different. Okay, so we'll apply the condition of location of roots, right? So if we want both the roots to be positive, it means our quadratic equation, or graph of our quadratic equation, must be like this. Okay, now what are the conditions? First condition on discriminant, that it should be positive. Second condition, vertex should be greater than, x coordinate of vertex should be greater than 0. And third one, f of 0 should be positive. Okay, f of 0 should be positive, right? X coordinate of the vertex must be greater than 0, and obviously discriminant should be greater than 0, not equals to 0. Fine. So you need to solve these conditions, right? This is a very simple quadratic equation. Now solve these conditions, take the intersection of all the conditions. Okay, after taking the intersection, you will get a range of value of a, right? And in that range you can just find out the least integral value. Okay, so just find out the least integral value. So I think final answer for this will be 7. Okay, again calculation is very easy in this, so I am skipping the calculation part. Okay, it is very standard calculation. Okay, so just do that. Your a value will be 7, least value will be 7. Now we'll look for question number 7. So next question again, we are now in the 7th question, and if you have observed carefully, okay, all the questions are very standard. Okay, so domain of this is minus infinity to alpha union beta to gamma union del to infinity. Okay, we need to find alpha plus beta plus del plus gamma. This we need to find. Okay, so we need to find the domain. Okay, and we all know that what is the domain of sine inverse? Sine inverse domain lies between -1 to 1. So this should lies between -1 to +1. Okay, now solve this part and this part separately. So first portion will be, if we combine these two equations, it will be 1 upon x square minus 2x minus 1 plus 1 greater than 0, and second part is 1 upon x square minus 2x minus 1 minus 1 is less than 0. Okay, so if we quickly solve this question, x square minus 2x upon greater than 0, and here we will get so it will be minus x square plus 2x and plus 2 upon x square minus 2x minus 1 less than 0. Okay, the only difficulty in this question is that this equation is not easily factorizable. Okay, so again, if we see the roots of this equation, so numerator is easily solvable. This one will get root as 2 plus minus, again this is 4 plus 4 by 2, so you will get 1 plus minus root 2. Okay, so this will be x minus 1 minus root 2 and x minus 1 plus root 2 greater than 0. Okay, and here first multiply this equation by negative sign, so x square minus 2x minus 2 and x square minus 2x minus 1 is greater than 0. Okay, so now if we calculate the roots of this one, it is plus 2, 4 plus 8 by 2, so this will be 1 plus minus root 3. Okay, 1 plus minus root 3 and denominator is same, right? So again we'll apply the wavy curve. Okay, so apply the wavy curve to this, find the answer of first case, find the answer of second case, then take the intersection. So this is case 1 and this is case 2, and our final answer should be case 1 intersection case 2. Okay, case 1 intersection case 2. Okay, now one tricky part is means if you see the options, all the options are integers, right? So if you see the critical points, okay, CPs, so critical points of first case is 0 to 1 minus root 2, 1 plus root 2, and critical point from the second case. Okay, so denominator is same, so only new critical points are these. Okay, so there are 6 critical points. Okay, now answer is integer. Okay, what does it means? Means suppose if in your domain any of the value, if any of the value is 1 minus root 2, then you will have 1 plus root 2 along with it. Okay, and if you have 1 minus root 3, so you will have 1 plus root 3 along with that. Why? Because if answer is integer, to cancel this minus root 2 we need plus root 2. Okay, so if you add any of the 4 number and you want integer as the answer, so your answer only possibility is 4. Only possibility is 4. Add any 4 numbers, okay, any 4 numbers, and if answer is integer, then in all the possibilities 4 must be there, because if you add last 4, 1 1 1 1, it will be 4. If you add these two, 0 plus 2, so again it will be 4. If you taking this pair with 0 2, again answer will be 4. So take any pair, answer will be 4. Okay, so you can solve it easily. There is again no need to plot the graph and do the wavy curve. Okay, so our next question is question number 8. So next question is, again it is very simple and standard question from differentiability concept. There is a function f of x log mod x, log x mod over log x minus of mod over x minus 1. Okay, there are 3 statements. Statement 1, f of x is differentiable. F of x is differentiable for all x is greater than 0. Statement 2 is f of x is increasing in 1 to infinity, right? And third statement is f of x is decreasing in 0 to 1. Fine. Now if you see the option, again you can go for option elimination. So I think checking increasing and decreasing will be easier. Okay, so first I will divide this function or split this function according to the intervals. we know that if x is greater than 1 for log, right, then log will open with plus sign. So if x is greater than 1, then this will open with plus sign, this mod will also open with plus sign. And if x is less than 1, and needless to say it has to be greater than 0 for the existence of log, both the mods will open with minus sign. So minus of ln x, minus of x plus of 1. Minus sign, sorry. So it should be plus minus sign, so it will be x minus 1. Okay. Now if we want to check increasing and decreasing function, it is very simple. Differentiate these functions. So f dash x, anyhow it is continuous at x equals to 1. Okay. So this function is continuous because it is clearly visible. If you put x equals to 1 in both the equations, you will get the same answer, right? So LHS is equals to RHS. So at 1 it is continuous. So if we differentiate, this will be 1 by x minus 1, and this will be minus 1 by x plus 1. Okay. Now if you put any of the value which is greater than 1 in this equation, so this is always negative. This is always negative. Okay. And same goes for this part. If you put any value between 0 to 1, okay, so this is also always negative. And if derivative of any function is always negative, then that function can't be increasing, it is always decreasing. So third statement is correct, it is decreasing. Okay, third statement is correct, it is decreasing. Okay, and there are 4 options, and out of these 4 options, in 2 options they are saying statement 2 is correct, and in 1 option they are saying all of them are correct. Okay, so by checking increasing and decreasing, 3 options are eliminated. So obviously 4th option will be the correct answer. So statement 1, if you see the options, statement 1 has to be correct. And you can also check the differentiability, right? So again you can go by option elimination. You means if you are going by option elimination, sometimes you need not to check for all the options, right, or for all the things which are given in the statement. But even if you want to check the differentiability, it is not that much tough, right? So you can check the differentiability, it is differentiable for all x greater than 0, right? Okay, so now again we'll proceed to the next question, and that question is, this question is again very calculative, and it is also not that much calculative because you have seen these kind of questions earlier, right? So you are familiar with such kind of questions. So we need to find how many ordered pair exist for this condition x and y belongs to integer. So again it is very simple question. Just write this equation, y square is less than 52 minus 4x square. So if you put x equals to 0, so y square will be lesser than 52. It means y will vary from minus of 7 point something to plus of 7 point something, right? So how many integers are there between minus 7 point something to plus 7 point something? So there are 15 integers. Okay, minus 7 to minus 1, 7, 1 to 7 again 7, 14, and 1 is 0. Similarly, if you put x equals to 1, so y square will be lesser than 48. So there will be 13 values. Okay, but along with x equals to 1, we can also take x equals to minus 1. So if answer is 13, I will multiply this by 2. So you will get total 26 points. Okay, now if you put x equals to 2, y square will be less than 2. So 16, 52 minus 16, 36. So 36. So how many points will it give? Minus 6 to plus 6, but minus 6 and plus 6 is not included. So y value will be 11 into 2, because we can take x equals to minus 2 also. So we will get 22. X equals to 3. So at x equals to 3, y square is less than 16. So I guess we'll get here 7.7 into 2 is 14, and we can't put x equals to 4. Why? Because if you put x equals to 4, y square will be negative, which is not possible. So just add all the points. So final answer is going to be 15 plus 26 plus 22 plus 14. So 15 plus 26, I guess 40, 40 and 37, 77. So 77 will be the correct option. Okay, 77 will be the correct answer. Fine. So now again we'll take one question from matrix. This is our question number 9. Next question is from matrix, and this question again, it is very standard question. We have seen such questions earlier in the PYQs also. So question is that there are two matrix P and Q, and both the matrix are 3 cross 3 matrix. They are 3 cross 3 matrix. Okay. Now Qij, again this is needless to write, but again I will write this. One second. P is equals to Pij 3 cross 3 fine. So 1 minute. So we can write P equals to Pij 3 cross 3 and Q equals to Qij 3 cross 3. Okay. And we have one more data. Actually two more data. Qij is equals to 2 power I plus j minus 1 times of Pij. And determinant of Q is 2 power 10. Finally we have to find determinant of adjoint of P. Now if you have done such questions, then it has to be determinant of P raised to the power 4. Okay, straightforward, simple, formula based question. It is totally formula based question. Okay, so now you just need to crack the pattern. What will be the matrix Q? Why? We'll write matrix Q because determinant of matrix Q is given. So matrix Q will be 1 1. So if you put 1 1, it will be 2 times of P11, correct? If you put I1 J2, so it will be 2 power 2 P12, 2 power 3 P13, 2 power 2 P21, 2 power 3 P22. Okay, what I am doing, just add them, and 2 power will be 1 less than this. Okay, 2 power 4 P23 and 2 power 3 P31, 2 power 4 P32, 2 power 5 P33. Okay, I hope you understand the pattern. Now what is determinant of P? So determinant of P is nothing but P11, P12, P13, P21 and up to P33. Okay, so we need to remove all these 2's. If we remove all these 2, we will get the determinant of P. So determinant of Q, if I take determinant, I will be taking 2 common from the first row, 2 power 2 from the second row, 2 power 3 from the third row. So total 6 2's will be taken as common. Left out is, this will be the left out. Okay, P21, 2 P22 and 2 power 2 P23 and so on. P31, 2 P32, 2 power 2 P33. Fine. Now if you take 2 common from column 2 and 2 power 2 common from column third. Okay, so 1 2 from here and 2 2's from here. So total 3 and 6 are outside, so it will be total 9. And determinant of Q will be 2 power 10. So 2 power 10 is equals to 2 power 9. And if you take these 2 common, remaining will form determinant of P. Remaining will form determinant of P. So determinant of P is nothing but 2. So determinant of p power 4, it will be 16. So final answer is 16. Final answer is 16. Again, this is very standard question. So we have done such questions many times in the classrooms. Okay. So determinant of adjoints, determinant of adjoint, and again adjoints, multiple time adjoints. So same kind of questions have been done earlier. So I don't think it will be a tough question for you in your exam. Fine. So finally we are going to take the last question. Okay. And that is from ellipse, or we can say conic section. Question number 11. Very simple question. If point P, H comma K is a variable point on circle, there is a point P which lies on this circle. Now there is again point Q, 2H plus 1, 3K plus 3, which lies on ellipse. It lies on ellipse. We don't know the equation of ellipse, but eccentricity of this ellipse is E. Then find phi by E square. Okay. So ultimately, if we need to find phi by E square, so we need to find the eccentricity of the ellipse. And to get the eccentricity of the ellipse, we need equation or value of A and B, right? So we'll try to find out the equation. If this point is on the ellipse, it means x is equals to 2h plus 1 and y is equals to 3k plus 3. Okay, we have a relation between hk and yk, hx and yk, and hk lies on this circle. So we have one more relation between h and k. So h square plus k square equals to 4. Okay, now just find out the value of h and k from these two equations. So h will be x minus 1 by 2 and k will be y minus 3 upon 3. Okay, so put the value of h and k in this equation. So what will be the equation, final equation? If you put h equals to x minus 1 by 2 and y minus 3 by 3. Now this is a ellipse. Okay, this is ellipse, shifted ellipse. So x minus 1 square by 16, y minus 3 square by 36 equals to 1. Okay, so this is a ellipse. Clearly you can see the value of a square and b square. So a square is 16, b square is 36, a is greater than b. If a is greater than b, then eccentricity is 1 minus root over, eccentricity will be root over 1 minus a square by b. So a square by b square, and we need e square, so I will square here. So e square is 1 minus 4 by 9. So e square is 5 by 9. Put e square here. So final answer is going to be 9. Final answer is going to be 9. Right. So there are 11 questions. We have more question, but this is a I will say this is a good paper for scoring, right? Means you can easily score in such kind of questions because all the questions are easy in terms of calculation also, right? And you are familiar with such kind of questions. So even if somewhere calculation is little bit tricky or bit lengthy, okay, it should not be a reason to skip the question, right? Because you are already familiar with such kind of questions, right? So I think 7 to 8 questions are very, very standard, means they are not even conceptually tough, they are not even lengthy, right? Calculation is also very simple. Some questions calculations might be tricky, but again I will say till 15 question it is very easy to moderate, and most important standard paper, right? Means you are familiar with such kind of questions. So I hope every question is clear, concept is very clear to all of you. Okay, students who are attending exams tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you should always watch the memory based questions because some of the questions may repeat again, right? So say, similar kind of questions might repeat in your examination. For example, this question I guess is repeated in 23rd first or second shift, or maybe on 22. I don't know the exact shift and date, but similar kind of question is repeated again. Okay, so just watch all the questions, right? It will be helpful for the students who are attending exam tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay, so that's it from my side. Right now I have only these questions. Okay, if we get further questions, we'll solve it, right? So thank you so much, and that's it, and all the best for upcoming exam.